When I was in the 9th grade, my English teacher assigned us a project. The basic idea was to complete an act of kindness and write a piece of poetry about the experience. Now, I wish I could say the idea of what to do came naturally, but the theme today is thoughtful truth, so I won't lie. As a 13-year-old girl, angry at the world for no valid reason aside from puberty, it was a refreshing step back from the stress and general monotony of high school. I decided to go along with what my two best friends were doing, which was to put an uplifting message on every locker in the school. That was my first experience with organized kindness, and afterwards I put the memory to the side, not forgetting, but not ready to have an epiphany. 3 years later, after a lot of emotional maturing and life happening, as life tends to do, I was given the news that the cancer I'd been battling for 2 years had become terminal. If you know me, you'll know I'm a very stubborn person. And to me, this news was akin to being told, you are not allowed to have the same life that most people will. You have to stop early. And my response to that was, and still is, stop me if you can, but until then, I'm going to live the best life that I can. I won't give up. So I thought a lot about what that best life would mean to me. I remembered what my parents taught me when I grew up and what lessons were most important to me. I thought about my father teaching me to be kind and how I never had an aversion to being kind, but far too often it had slipped my mind to step up and do what should come naturally. And I remembered how putting those messages had made people smile, and how those smiles had in turn warmed my heart. It hadn't been a grand gesture, but I decided I wanted to devote the rest of my life to recreating that feeling. In that way, making the vow to be kind was the most selfish choice I could have made. Unfortunately, as an easily fatigued cancer patient, getting out and volunteering isn't always an option. Thus, I went with the next best option and began to encourage others to be as kind as their hearts would allow. You see, kindness isn't an ability we're born with or without. It's more of a decision to be made. It's so easy, and it's so satisfying. Not everyone realizes that, and I don't think it's very useful information when you keep it a secret. So I shared my message in the hopes that others would accept it into their hearts the way that I had. Now, kindness is not a new idea. I'm not a genius or an inventor. But the thing is, you don't always have to be powerful or witty to make a change for the better. You just have to look at yourself and your abilities and ask the question, how can I make the world that I live in a world that I'm proud to call home? And then you do something about it. It was very important to me to keep the message powerful, but vague. I wanted to keep it open to interpretation. Be kind, but in the way that feels right to you. There are so many ways to be kind. For most people, it means to be charitable through volunteerism or donation. Blood banks, soup kitchens, community centers, etc. A simpler version of kindness exists in friendship, to encourage and support someone, to give advice, or even to lend an ear or a shoulder to cry on. Another way of kindness exists in the take charge route that is too intimidating for many people. It means standing up for what's right, speaking up against injustices. I don't mean getting offended by everything. I mean telling someone that they're not cool for being mean to those who are perceived as different. This kindness means taking the high road when all you want is to be petty. It means to let go of the hatred in your heart. It means to forgive, or at least to forget. This is the kind we struggle most with. The path of kindness that I've chosen is a bit different. Since I mentioned it's a bit difficult to be conventionally kind when you're terminally ill, I've chosen to go the route of spreading awareness, informing others about the issues that I see and asking for help. And that's how the hashtag Becca Told Me To kindness movement began. As an advocate for kindness, it pleases me to inform you that good deeds benefit a very important career field. Can you guess who I'm talking about? 1, 2. Okay, time's up. It's law enforcement. For us Canucks, that means the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Along with their other ideas and values, the RCMP firmly believes that when we are kind, crime rates go down. This happens for a multitude of reasons. For one, when we show friendship kindness, sometimes we advise our friends not to drive distracted or make other life-changing bad decisions. When we take charge, we might gain the courage to inform the police about something that could help solve a crime. When we do these good deeds, we are not only being kind, we are also demonstrating good citizenship. Not only this, but sometimes people turn to crime because they are frustrated with their community. They don't know how to ask for help, or sometimes feel that their only option is to take by force. If they have been abused or come from a bad background, oftentimes they don't have a good sense of right and wrong. By showing compassion and being kind, we build up a sense of community pride, and thus lower crime rates. How cool is that? By being kind, we're fighting crime, which essentially means that being kind is like being a superhero. If being a superhero isn't cool enough for you, this is it, my secret weapon. I'm about to bust out the logic, the facts, and the statistics that prove that you should be kind. There are reasons why helping others also means helping yourself. Witnessing acts of kindness releases oxytocin, and engaging in kindness produces both endorphins and serotonin. Oxytocin is referred to as the love hormone because it increases heart health and lowers your blood pressure. Endorphins are the body's natural painkillers, and serotonin makes us happy and calms us down. Along with this, when we help others, our brain's pleasure and reward centers light up. This phenomenon is called the helper's high, which makes kindness the only drug that isn't likely to get you in any trouble at all. A study from University of British Columbia had a group of highly anxious individuals do at least 6 acts of kindness a week. After a month, there was a significant increase in positive moods, relationship satisfaction, and a decrease in social avoidance in socially anxious individuals. Stephen Post of Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine found that when we are selfless, everything from life satisfaction to physical health drastically improves. Mortality is delayed, depression reduced, and general life quality is improved. We become happier. This is useful information. If kindness is anti-aging, well, I'm no longer ashamed to be a bit baby-faced. With such compelling evidence in favor of kindness, I don't see why it should be such a problem at this point. We become set in our ways, so the more you are kind, the easier it will become. And if you still find yourself struggling for a reason to be kind, well, Becca told you to.